Recently, I've been hearing a ton of players complaining about how the operator is way too overpowered in Valorant. Well, I hate to break it to you, but the operator is balanced and you aren't going to be seeing a nerf to it anytime soon. Now, a lot of you guys might not believe me when I say this, and you can believe me or not, but the developers have already made a ton of statements regarding balancing, and this proves that an operator nerf isn't coming anytime in the near future. So firstly, the devs said they don't want to add more content to fix a meta problem. They want to fix the current problem before adding more variables into the mix. This means that we won't be getting an agent that will counter any op player, but there are still ways to counter the op inside the game. There's three main ways: jiggle peeking, not running out one by one, and finally using utility. When jiggle peeking, players will constantly die to the op, and this is because they aren't doing the correct jiggle peek. Yes, there are multiple ways, and the best way to counter the op is by performing an air strafe jiggle peek. This is where players just jump out slightly to bait a shot, and then they turn around midair and land back safely in cover. If this is done correctly, then the operator will miss their shot, and then you and your team can decide if they want to rotate or fully push the operator to overwhelm him. If you are doing the second of these options, then be sure not to just run out one by one. Instead, if everyone pushes out, then at least one of you is bound to get the kill. Just be sure that you're not one of those players that is baiting, lurking, carnage. Sorry, I had a cough there. But if you all don't push out, then this leads to a lower success rate and it might cost your team a round. And then the final way that you can counter the op is by using your utility. Right now, every agent except for Raze and Sage have a great counter ability to the op. If you can use your utility correctly, then you should be able to overtake the operator and win the round. So even though I have said in this video that the operator is balanced and it doesn't need a nerf, this doesn't mean I don't think other aspects shouldn't receive a nerf. Look, if you're going to spend 4,500 credits on a weapon in a tactical shooter, then it has to be pretty good or else the credits would just be a waste. But right now the operator is destroying kids at all levels of the game, so here are a few possible ways to balance the op even more. For starters, the player speed in Valorant could be increased so that it's harder to hit shots with the operator. Even though this might solve the problem, I highly doubt that Riot will end up adding this into the game. Instead, they could add a larger movement inaccuracy, and what I mean by this is players have to stand still for a longer period of time in order for the shot to go straight. This would limit the jet dashes after opping at high levels. This would nerf the op a bit, but this next change is a must if the operator wants to receive any changes. This is reducing the wall penetration rating. Right now in Valorant, if you fire an operator through any wall, it's a one tap if you hit the player. This includes the feet. I feel like only a headshot should do this if you're shooting through a barrier or an object, so I really hope that Riot changes this. And then the last change that is specifically for the op is a lower ammo count. This will make the op a more risky weapon and it will require players to hit their shots. Now we have already gone through so many ways that the op could get nerfed, but before we continue, I want you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more daily Valorant content. 98% of you aren't already subbed and we're posting daily Valorant content until we hit 5,000 subs. So if you want to help out, then be sure to subscribe. Now back to the content. So our next way that the operator could get balanced is by buffing the abilities to counter the op. For example, what if flashes had a greater effect for players that were scoped in with a weapon that has a high magnification scope? In real life, if you're zoomed into a flash, this could cause you to have worse conditions when hit with a flashbang, so it would be cool if Valorant added this into the game. And then finally, our last change is to just create better maps. I'm going to be making a video solely on this in the future, but right now the maps are basically designed for ops to be overpowered. Let's take Ascent for example. When defending on this map, if you're contesting mid, you will definitely get there before the attacking players, and if you have an op, then you're set to just hold the angle and confirm that nobody's coming. If they even just change the barrier to limit the times players can reach the angle before the other team, this could be a huge step. And listen, I just listed off 6 ways to balance the op, and there are a ton of more possibilities. But we just need to trust that the Riot devs know what they're doing and will make the best decision in the end. Thank you so much for watching all the way through this video, and if you did make it this far, be sure to comment fried watermelon. That's going to wrap it up for this operator meta talk, and I will see you all in the next one.